Hey everybody, so we're going to talk about adding and subtracting rational numbers, which is really what everything we've been doing is going to kind of culminate in. This is why we practiced like finding the lowest common denominator and like factoring and all that kind of thing. They all come into play here. So let's take a look at what we are doing. All right, in order to add or subtract rational numbers, and we're mostly just looking at fractions, all right, although rational numbers are also decimals, but mostly we're working with fractions, we need to make sure that they have the same denominator, which we practice. We need to find the lowest common denominator, and we do that by finding multiples of both of your denominators and then multiplying your entire fraction by those multiples. And once both of your fractions have lowest common denominators, you will only add or subtract the numerators. All right, if the number that you're beginning with is a mixed number, we're going to change it to an improper fraction. And if you're not familiar with that, we use what I call the circle method. Starting with your denominator, multiply it by your whole number, then add it to your numerator, then put the answer you get over the original denominator. So you kind of go in a circle. All right, so let's practice a couple. Here we have 3/4 and 5/6. All right, so first you have to make sure they have the same denominator. And if you're like making your list of all of your multiples of 4 and 6, what you'll find is that they both have 12 as a common multiple. So that's going to be our lowest common denominator. So we multiply this entire fraction of 3/4 by 3/3 because 3 times 4 gives you 12. So we get 9/12. 9/12 is equivalent, meaning that it is equal to the same thing. It's equal to 3/4. It's equivalent. They mean the same amount. All right? So we're going to multiply 5/6 by 2/2. 2 over 2 because 6 times 2 gives you 12. So this becomes 10/12. Then, once you have common denominators, we can add, and we will only add our numerators. So this becomes 19/12. All right, looks nice. Kind of, sort of. Actually, we have an improper fraction here, which we don't like. So we want to change improper fractions to mixed numbers. And how do you do that? Long division is really the best way. And a lot of kids hate long division because it goes on and on and on, and you have remainders and that kind of thing. But really, when you're simplifying a fraction, when you're changing an improper fraction into a mixed number, you only have to go through one round of division. So this fraction, 19/12, really just means the same thing as 19 divided by 12. All right, so we set up our long division like this, 19 divided by 12. 12 can go into 19 one time. All right, 1 times 12 is 12, and 19 minus 12 is 7. So right here, we have absolutely everything we need to make our mixed number. This is going to be our whole number. All right. This will be our new numerator, and this will be our new denominator. All the pieces are right here. So 19/12 becomes 1 and 7/12. All right, let's try this fraction over here. We have 1 and 1/7 minus 2/3. So, like I say up in my notes, we need to change 1/7 to an improper fraction in order to subtract them properly. So let's use the circle method. So we multiply 7 by 1 to get 7, and then we add our answer, 7, to 1 to get 8. So 1 and 1/7 becomes 8/7. All right, so we've got 8/7 minus 2/3. But we still don't have common denominators. If you make your list of multiples, you will see that the lowest common denominator between 7 and 3 is going to be 21. So this will become 8/7 will become 24 21sts. And 2/3 will become 14 21sts. So we only really have to do 24 minus 14, which is 10, and our denominator remains 21. So this becomes 10 21st. So that's our answer. All right. Let's try a couple more. We won't try all of these, but let's maybe try the top two. All right. So 9/8 plus 5/7 are the lowest common denominator between 8 and 7, because 7 is really just a difficult number to work with, is going to be 56. So we're going to multiply 9/8 by 7/7, and we'll get 63/56. And 5/7 we're going to multiply by 8/8 to get 40/56. All right, so that comes out to 103/56. All right, so we have a mixed number, or an improper fraction here, so we need to use division in order to turn it into a mixed number. So I'm going to divide 103. I'm going to do it right down here. 103 divided by 56. All right, 56 can only go into 103 one time. All right. Don't forget to borrow. So this becomes, all right, here we have all the pieces we need to make our mixed number. So the answer as a mixed number is 1 and 47/56. All right. Let's just do 2 and 1/7 minus 2 and 3/5. So first, let's change these to mixed numbers. You go into a circle. We do 7 times 2, which is 14, plus 1, which is 15. So this becomes 15/7. And do the same thing here. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So we have 13/5. All right, 7 again is kind of a stubborn number. So the lowest common denominator between 7 and 5 is going to be 35. So we multiply 15/7 by 5, and we get 75/35. We multiply 13/5 by 7/7, and we get 91/35. All right, we're going to end up here with a negative number. So we would do 75 minus 91, which will come out to 16, negative 16/35. All right, so that's it for this, and thanks for joining me.